Hey guys, it's Yuta. So recently I made a video about religions in Japan, but when I published the video, I got a lot of comments asking for my opinion about Logan Paul. Now, he's an American YouTuber and he went to Japan and he went to this famous suicide forest in Japan. And not only did he find a dead body in that forest, he showed it on his video and he also made some jokes about it. And because of that video, he got a lot of heat from all kinds of people. Now, that video in question was deleted, but he had other videos that he made in Japan. So I started watching those videos, and when I did, I was like, wow, this is a lot worse than I thought. And I'm not usually a big fan of making this kind of video where I accuse people publicly, but those videos were so bad. I just felt like I have to say something as a Japanese person who has some social following with English speakers. Now let me show you some clips so that you will see the kind of videos that he makes.
No, you're gonna light on fire, bro.
That's okay. My spirit's being
You're gonna light up.
just for if you're a real piece of shit in life. So if you look behind me, this is where you throw coins into the well. I wish for health, happiness, and hella bitches. There you go. It looks like Andy's being taken away. What happened? What did he do?
No.
Now it goes without saying that a temple is a religious place. And it doesn't really matter which country you go. If you go to a religious place, it doesn't matter if it's a church, mosque, temple, or shrine. Generally speaking, you need to be quiet and respectful. But he does the complete opposite. He's loud, disrespectful, and obnoxious. And look at the people who are praying quietly. But Logan, he was very vulgar, and the way he throws the coins it's just very rude, the way he does it. Now he's with a Japanese guide, and there is a scene where he got kicked out of the temple, probably for a good reason. But you can see in the video, the guide is apologizing on his behalf. But Logan was acting like it was as though somebody else's problem.
We're gonna see you back in a second. We're gonna put the vlog camera down. You know how it is in Japan. They're all about the respect. We're gonna be respectful.
And if you think that's bad enough, you haven't seen anything. And now he goes to the famous fish market in Tokyo.
He has no idea. Hello.
Oh.
Hi. How you feel?
So easy to get around
It's free
here.
Ubers, bro.
It's free.
I mean, what's wrong with those people really? He jumps onto a moving vehicle and provokes the driver. If a 5-year-old did that kind of stuff in Japan, they're going to have a very serious talk with their parents. And honestly, when I look back, when I was like 5, I think my nursery school friends, they knew much better than him. And you know the fish market in Japan? Well, it's the kind of place where professionals, they sell and buy fish. For example, many chefs from restaurants, they go to the market very early in the morning and they buy fish for that day. And you used to be able to visit and see the market rather freely. But because of the increasing tourists and bad manners, they had to come up with some kind of restrictions. So just think about what kind of things that Logan contributes to the problem.
I want to buy this, but I'm not going to eat it though. It's just for content.
What are we gonna do with that?
We're in Shibuya. I got my squid leg. I got a fish. Hey guys, you want some fish? Got some! I'm doing it.
So I don't know about you, but growing up in Japan, I was taught to be thankful and respectful towards food because there's many people who are involved producing food for you. So you need to be thankful and you shouldn't waste your food. And I still feel bad when I have to throw some food away. So that kind of thing really disgusts me. But what he does next is even worse.
Honestly, bro, I'm done with these fish.
And yes, you saw it right. He left the food on a random taxi. Now, imagine if somebody did that to your car that you need for your work. How would you react to that? And he goes on and say things like this.
I just want to say one thing though. Japanese people are so nice. Literally everyone, first off, they put up with me. Second off, they laugh with me, sometimes at me.
You know, I really hate it when people say, oh, Japanese people are so nice, when they are actually just taking advantage of the non-confrontational nature of Japanese culture. Just because somebody doesn't yell at you and tell you to get lost, it doesn't mean they like you. In his videos, you can see Japanese people's disgusted faces. And just as you think that things cannot get any worse, he does this kind of stuff.
Toyota, I choose you. No, you bitch. He's gonna catch you. Okay, get him. Honey, get him.
I mean, seriously, he throws a ball at the moving car. And he physically blocks a moving bike. I wonder what he would do if somebody got hurt. Would he be still laughing and think it's funny? I don't know. But apparently, he thinks it's funny when somebody is utterly disgusted because of his idiotic behavior.
I choose you.
As you can see in this video, nobody is laughing and smiling. The owner is completely annoyed. But of course, it's just funny for him.
Japanese police. I've been in situations like this before. Thanks.
Now, those are the videos that he made prior to the deleted Suicide Forest video. Now, let's not pretend like we are all saints or something. We are human beings and we sometimes make mistakes. So if his Suicide First video was just an isolated case, I would have said maybe we should give him the benefit of the doubt. But as we discussed in this video, that video in question is far from an isolated case. It's just part of what he does. The whole premise of his channel is him being disruptive, annoying, obnoxious, misbehaving, provoking people in public. If he didn't get into any major trouble up to the point, it's simply because he was just lucky. It seems like that kind of stuff is bound to happen sooner or later. And for that reason, one apology video, it just doesn't mean anything. He has absolutely no excuse whatsoever. And it seems like his parents didn't teach him this, but if you go to a foreign country where you are a minority, whether you like it or not, people see you as a kind of representative of your country. So it's always good to be extra mindful. And if you think his videos are funny, let me remind you that he's doing a huge disservice to his own people. He embodies all kinds of negative stereotypes for being obnoxious, bad-mannered, disruptive, inconsiderate, and disrespectful. And if you think he's just one person, you should remember that he has millions of followers who like his videos and who support him. Now let me quote my fellow YouTuber, Reina, because I think she has an excellent point, and I hope she doesn't mind.
Because he doesn't really respect the Japanese as people. And I, like, almost as though he sees us as caricatures, as people maybe. Now, I'm pulling from my own biases and experiences, of course, but as a Japanese national citizen that grew up in the US with a green card, there were a lot of times where I was treated as though I was really tiny and like I was a child. I was spoken to like a child. Honestly, I still get spoken to like a child. And a lot of it, I understand, does have to do with my size, but it's also definitely because I'm foreign. And I'm foreign, and I must say that after watching some clips of Logan Paul's other vlogs in Japan, the way he kind of behaves, I know he's just being crazy and he's being true to his brand and that's who he is and I get it, but there is definitely a sliver of I think I see a sliver of what I used to experience when people used to talk down to me because I was foreign. I really, really see that in his vlogs, and it bothers me because, like I said before, I really do think that maybe he doesn't see us on the same level of human being as him or something, and I think that that's perhaps why he was able to do such a horrid thing as interacting with a dead body that passed from committing suicide.
But I don't want to make this video about a particular nationality, so let me just acknowledge that some YouTubers in Japan, they have similar problems, and they sometimes go too far and they get criticized. And it's not like nobody in Japan is racist. But just because other people are behaving badly, that doesn't give you an excuse to behave like Logan. And I'd also like to point out that YouTube is complicit. YouTube can be super sensitive about being politically correct, so it's like they're sending a message that you can be as antisocial as you want, as long as you don't talk about politically sensitive topics. And I sometimes feel like some YouTubers are criticized unfairly just because they say something a little bit problematic. The media sometimes quote them out of context so that they can attack some YouTubers. And sometimes people get a disproportional amount of hate because of other people's knee-jerk, self-righteous kind of reactions. But in Logan's case in particular, I think he completely deserves harsh public criticism and possibly termination of his channel. Because he really does have bad intentions behind some of his behaviors. But the bottom line is this: his behavior is completely unacceptable in Japan and probably in many other countries. So it doesn't really matter if you're from Japan or from somewhere else. Do not follow his example and do not support him. I hope you understand my points.